for that. What is moving is an RFP that was released as it relates to the municipal auditorium. That RFP is aligned with architect and as well as mechanical and program management, which would be necessary regardless of what the municipal auditorium would become. It's necessary to move that RFP forward so the city of New Orleans makes good on the $38 million of FEMA dollars that is associated only with municipal auditorium. Through that process, there will be further engagement around New City Hall being embedded in the municipal auditorium, a scaled-down version of City Hall in a civic space, ensuring that the sacred ground of Congo Square is not only protected, but is preserved for generations. But the focus here is really on the RFP that was released to begin planning on the municipal auditorium utilizing that $38 million of FEMA dollars, which is essential. That money is on deadline. It will go away in 2023. If we don't begin the process now to spend the money now, because it's a process, it's not overnight, then we would lose those resources. Right now, I have FEMA Administrator Criswell in town. Had a meeting on yesterday, just again, about the large amount of FEMA dollars that the city of New Orleans has been allocated over time, as well as projects that we still have to get underway. The municipal auditorium is one of them. Now, it's all, again, about the process and realizing an opportunity to fully redevelop the municipal auditorium as a scaled-down city hall based on work that we have done as a city through the year of 2019. We did a thorough analysis of what do we need in a new city hall, where do we have our people located in various buildings that we're currently leasing around the city, because not everyone is housed in this particular building, but we're paying money in other places. But not only that, it's also the need for a new city hall based on the challenges that we're currently having with this building we're in. The waste and the money that we're losing annually trying to keep this building running. And I can go into even more details about the chillers and, oh Lord, don't get me started there, Ramsey. But it's money that we've had to spend, even in how hot it is in this room right now, but it's on 100%. And of course, we know that it's warm outside. But the fact of the matter is, this is not a takeover. This is breathing life back into an historic building, the municipal auditorium, to where it will serve a purpose and a need that the city has currently. So it's a process. And again, it will not happen overnight, but regardless, if we're talking a new city hall or a former casino, which it used to be, or a hockey stadium, which it used to be, and of course we know the historical aspects of municipal auditorium for generations, based on our community. But understanding what it used to be and wanting to breathe life back into it, we would have to move through this same process, issuing this RFP to then utilize the FEMA dollars that we do have assigned to this building. Anything to add, Ramsey?
Jeff, you have a question about municipal?
We don't have a design yet. It's a process. And the community will have a role to play in what that looks like. But it's also an opportunity to look at the whole, meaning area, not the Treme. I'm talking about that site, but as we move across Basin, Lafitte Greenway, and the like, but looking at even how we're utilizing the Mahalia Jackson. Now, we are not using it to our fullest benefit. It will still remain, of course, a performing arts theater, but just reimagine how much more we can do as a city there. But that's going to come also from the community as we think about preserving the sacred space. Congo Square not being touched at all. But we will be looking at how we will hold additional water with the lagoons, restructuring that, but not at all moving away from preserving our culture and our history in the city of New Orleans. If nothing else, this is putting, in thinking about a new city hall, putting the government at the foot of preservation and of our culture in this city that we need to remain focused on, and it has to remain a priority in the city of New Orleans as we move forward. And I'm committed to that.
When you say that the RFP would be required regardless of the use of City Hall, does that mean, or municipal auditorium, does that mean you're open to other uses for municipal auditorium at this point?
My priority, and really from the very beginning, is not, I don't lie to people. I don't lie to people. So the thought of a new city hall is a priority because we need one, but not only that, we have resources tied to that building that would go away. So it's maximizing the opportunity and the money that we have to address challenges that we face, not only with this building, but also with the municipal auditorium. It's been blighted. I don't want it to be demolition by neglect. I do not want to turn down $38 million of FEMA money when we know we need additional dollars for infrastructure in this city. So we're going to move forward as it relates to the RFP that opens up an even greater process to designing what municipal auditorium could become.
Last question on municipal auditorium, WWF.
And get me straight, Ramsey.
Let me add one thing, Mayor, if you don't mind. Jeff, you ask a good question. Municipal auditorium has been vacant, blighted, dangerous, and scary since Hurricane Katrina. It wasn't until 2 or so years before the mayor came into office that pallets filled with MREs dating back to Hurricane Katrina were removed. This is a dangerous building that has a complicated history that is sitting there blighted. Now, the $38 million from FEMA is associated with certain scope items on the building. Roof, mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems, those things. We have to keep that money alive. So in the RFPs, both for design and project management, we focus on a 2-phase design process. Phase 1 is the FEMA money, which, as the mayor said, is focused on municipal auditorium. Not municipal auditorium as City Hall, municipal auditorium. Phase 2, once that work is designed, we look at, could this be a City Hall? What would be the transition from moving the FEMA money forward and then going to a new City Hall? But a project like this, when we get a question like, when does construction start? Right. That is such an early question to ask. This is a conceptual moment. No administration, and I know this because I've looked at it, has done a study of what kind of space needs this city has. This one did, from digital imaging of every single space in this building and our rented space, to financial analysis of what are we spending on rented space. 2 years ago, we had to airlift via a crane a $1 million chiller and stick it through the window in the 10th floor. And that chiller has a red alert on it right now telling us that we could lose air conditioning at any point during an incredibly hot summer. We have to figure out how to use our resources best. We have $38 million that will go away if we don't start this process. But that RFP process has enough leeway where we have a community engagement process, we keep this money going, we keep that building safe, but make no mistake, $38 million is not enough to make a substantial, programmatic future for municipal auditorium. There has to be more money beyond that. And whether that becomes City Hall or something else, that RFP is designed to allow that engagement between the city and the public to ferret those questions out. We have to be truthful to our residents about this. And we cannot assume that government doesn't deserve investment.
Right.
Walk into this building.
Right.
When the original architect designed this building, he derided the design that he had for this building. I heard that secondhand directly from an architect who spoke to him shortly after he designed this building. We have pride in this city, and our pride is, let's turn that building into something. That was the product of a failed arbitration between the Landrieu administration and FEMA, where they were potentially awarded substantially more than $38 million. Almost 100. They said no, they wanted more than 100, and then they lost in arbitration and got 38. And then we came in and we said, we got to do something about it. This mayor said, I have to do something about it. And we're doing it.